Okay, this video is to help you if you're absent and you're missing the graphing inequality slide. Okay, we're going to, in class, you don't have to worry about this part, but what we're going to do is we're going to go to a link and I want to have the students start thinking about graphing and inequality. Okay, this inequality that we're going to do says x is less than 3. Okay, so that means we want to show all numbers x that are less than 3 on our number line. Okay, so students are going to drag a point. See, 1 is less than 3, 2 is less than 3, 0 is less than 3. There's lots and lots and lots and lots of points that's less than 3. Okay, even fractions in between. Okay, like 1/2 or 1/4 or 2/3. Okay, whatever the numbers are that are less than 3. Okay, so the students are going to graph a whole bunch of these. And what they're going to see is that it could be many, infinitely many points to the left of 3. So the way we're going to graph it is instead of putting all of those points to show x is less than 3, okay, we're going to use a number line and show that this goes on forever and ever and ever. See, every single little teeny tiny point on this number line would be less than 3. Okay, this arrow is showing that it goes on forever and ever and ever. Okay, now we don't want to include the 3. Okay, we could include 2.9999999, okay? But we don't want to include 3 because it says x has to be less than 3. So the way to show that 3 itself is not included is going to be an open circle. Okay, so that would be an open circle showing that it gets really, really, really close to 3, but it doesn't quite get there because x has to be less than 3. Okay, let's go back to the slides. So this is kind of showing you how to graph inequalities like x is greater than a number, x is less than a number, x is greater than or equal to a number, or x is less than or equal to a number. Okay, so this is just kind of a picture of what it would look like. Okay, now it's only going to be okay. These pictures are going to work if x is first. Like if it says x is greater than a number. Okay, if x isn't first, you can't go by the pictures. And we'll look at an example of that in a second. Okay, let's just do some. Okay, graph the following inequality. X greater than 3. Okay, this means greater than. So what I need to show everything to the right of 3 because it needs to be greater. Okay, and we do not want to include the 3. So we're going to use an open circle. Okay, so there's x greater than 3. Okay, let's look at the next one. Graph 3 is less than x. Okay, now if it was me, I could think of that as 3 is less than my numbers, but I would rather think of this if 3 is less than my solutions, that means my solutions are greater than 3. So it's kind of like I'm pretending that this is written backwards with the sign flipped. Okay, 3 is less than x is the same thing as saying x is greater than 3. So actually that would be exactly the same graph as the last one. So I'm dragging the wrong one. Okay, it's going to be an open circle to the right of 3. Okay, just work through these. I'll go ahead and walk through them, but you want to work through them first before you kind of see what I'm doing. Okay, x is less than or equal to 0. Okay, first of all, less. It's got to be less than 0, so it's got to be to the left of 0. Less is left. That's one thing I like to think of. Left means less. Okay, now it says less than or equal to 0. Okay, that means 0 is included. So that's when you use the shaded circle. And you can go back to the chart on the second slide, kind of read a summary of that. Okay, 6, x is less than negative 2. Okay, less, left of negative 2. Okay, it says x is strictly less than, so it does not include it. So an open circle. Okay, these just take practice. And again, I'm going to be on slide 7. Go back to slide 2. If the x is first, this picture, I think, will help you. Okay, 7. Okay, negative 2 is greater than or equal to my solutions. Okay, think of x as your solutions. Negative 2 is greater than or equal to my solutions. That means my solutions are less than or equal to negative 2. Kind of like saying if 5 is greater than 2, that means 2 is less than 5. Okay, so x is less than or equal to negative 2. So I need to be to the left of negative 2. Okay, there's a equal part in this inequality, so that means it's included. The negative 2 is included. Okay, when you get to slide 8, they're showing you a picture, and they want you to come up with the inequality. So why don't you try those before you see my, keep playing this. Pause the video a second. Okay, this is showing everything greater than, okay, to the right, everything greater than 1, okay, and it doesn't include it. So that would be x greater than 1. Okay, the next one, it's showing everything left less than negative 3. Okay, but it's including it. See, it's including the negative 3 because it's shaded. So I could say x is less than or equal to negative 3. Okay, try the next one completely by yourself before you check. Okay, pause the video and then check. I'll see if you can do this. Okay, so this first one is showing everything to the left of negative 1. Left is less. So x is less than negative 1. Okay, it's not including it because it's an open circle. So just strictly x less than negative 1. Okay, the next one, x is showing everything to the right, greater than 2, and it includes it. So x greater than or equal to 2. Okay, I'll let you work out the last couple slides on your own just to see how you can do. One more thing I should have pointed out. Okay, if your x is first. If your x is first in your inequality. This is a little trick that helps kids. See how this less than symbol is pointing left? And see how you're shading the left? And also, see that little arrow, the inequality symbol? See how that little arrow is pointing left? Look at the shaded in part of my arrow. It's pointing left too. Okay, if it's greater than, okay, it's pointing to the right. Okay, look at this. My little arrow is pointing to the right. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is if the x is written first, the inequality symbol is going to point the same way of your little arrow. Okay, the other thing to kind of keep in mind, if there's no equal, open circle. If there is an equal sign, closed circle, shaded circle. Okay, let me know if you're having troubles. We're going to practice these in class on IXL too. But please let me know if I can help you in any way.